Oh, we should take a look at that. After Horsedad definitely wins this game 2, sends it to game 3, we'll take a look at who wins our bracket predictions. And our runners are off. Here we go.
The sink, 10 seconds into the run.
Wow, unreal. They handled the 1-1 a little differently. We're not watching 2 of the same feed. I can see slight differences. Yeah, both of the runners picking up that Mushroom Moon 1-1. Very nice and clean.
Looks like Chuck is about 4 frames ahead. Oh, as Horsedad takes an unfortunate hit, has to remember where this mushroom is. I am curious, after watching Horsedad through this tournament, basically, actually curious how many backups and, you know, backup power-up locations he really knows. Because there's definitely been a few times where he's done some questionable things, I guess, would be a nice way to put it.
I've seen some Cosmic Brain plays from Horsedad throughout the tournament. As we see, both of our runners flying up, picking up this whistle. This is the Warpless category again, so they won't be able to use that whistle. But it is the fastest way to clear that first fort. But kind of something we didn't talk about is that whistle is going to be the first item in their inventory the entire race. So yeah, they have to watch out. Make sure that every time they menu, they make sure to move over to the left or to the right away to get off of that whistle and not get an accidental toot.
Yep. And I mean, I've seen it happen on, you know, unintentional menus as well. Just, you know,
yeah.
you think you hit A, you think you're entering into a stage, but like the game, like the controller dropped the input or whatever, you didn't enter the stage. Most stages, you know, you start by holding B. So you just kind of press B, and then before you realize it, you open the menu, and then you press A again to like re-enter the stage, and congratulations, you just used your warp whistle.
Yeah, and in a category like this, they would be able to go back to the previous world that they just started. But with 2 runners of this caliber, a mistake like that, just about anywhere would probably cost them the entire race. So, you know, it's another one of those things like coin chips. You know, if you watch out for it, if you're comfortable with the game, it's probably not going to be a big deal. But the second you take your mind off of it, it can cause you a lot of issues.
Absolutely.
See, Chuck, first one into the World 1 airship. Horsedad, a little bit of issue on 1-2, gives Chuck a slight lead early on, but nothing too crazy.
This roles have been reversed here. Horsedad, the second one into the airship, but also the only one with fire coming into the airship. So we saw how that worked out against for Horsedad last time. So
Horsedad's just planning Chuck to die in 3-3, forget about it, and use the cloud accidentally, all by getting the fire flower in from the hammer bro where Chuck did. That's a cosmic brain play right there. That really is. Very nice fire kill there from Chuck. Looking like a 334 wand grab. And a nice fire kill from Horsedad as well. Looking at a 342 wand grab. It's about an 8-second lead for Chuck. Nothing too crazy. I love the mustache on the World 1 King.
Yeah, that dude is
amazing.
God. Yeah.
Do you think he uses like product in it? Like
absolutely.
Like the gel? I think
absolutely.
So, yeah. So both of our runners moving into 2-1 here. Kind of a tricky P-speed build right at the beginning. You kind of have to run into the wall, then jump, which is a little awkward, but both of our runners handling it very, very nicely. Very smooth. They are going to be on the lookout for these hammer bros. There is a potential that the hammer, which is kind of over on the other side of the screen, could make his way all the way over to the left. And if our runners are able to fight that bro a little early, they can skip a few stages here in World 2 and save quite a bit of time. But it's pretty rare Probably won't see it, but you never know. You know, stranger things have happened in this tournament. Have we seen an early hammer? I feel like we've seen a semi-early hammer.
I was gonna say we have a semi-early hammer,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say semi-early hammer again, just because I know Crew is gonna watch his VOD and it's going to bother him.
He doesn't like semi-early hammer. I gotta use that term more often.
Yeah, no, because every early hammer is an early hammer. There's
only Crew,
right? As
but looks like Chuck gets that P speed in the fort. Horsedad having a little bit more trouble getting it, but does pick it up before the pipe.
Yeah, Chuck, a little more fortunate this time, is gonna be able to fire kill the Boom Boom. We saw in the last race he took an unfortunate hit there at the start. But both runners actually fairly close still, still early, as both runners are going to be making their way into 2-3, as the Beats by Bro decides to run away from Horsedad. We'll see how he decides to play this. Some actually relatively new tech that was discovered earlier this year, I believe.
It's been like really close to a year now, almost. But I mean, like still in the grand scheme of SMB3, that's super new.
Oh yeah. You can actually determine which Hammer Bro is carrying which item depending on what way they're facing. And the funniest thing is, like, it was just a random viewer in someone's chat was like, "Hey, is that thing always facing that way?" And then we looked into it and we're like, "Oh yeah, no, it actually does." So
yeah, it's a big help. It's a big help in a couple of different spots. World 2, if you're trying to find the hammer. World 6, also, there's a spot where you want to fight only one bro, and you can use which way they're facing to determine which one is which. So very, very useful here in Warpless. You see Chuck getting his revenge here on 2-4. Very smooth.
Having a much nicer 2-4. An incredibly technical and difficult stage to do quickly. There's a few stages like that in World 2. Much easier than World 1 altogether, I would say, but still, there's a lot going on here in World 2. As Chuck is going to be killing this hammer bro, getting a hammer for his trouble.
Yeah, we see Horsedad again moving down to 2-5. He knows that this is the hammer, so that's the one he kind of wants to follow and fight. Doesn't have to take a guess as to which is which. So both of our owners able to get through World 2 with just the hammer. As you see, oh, Chuck takes the hit there from the Piranha Plant, loses his fire. Not the biggest deal. He doesn't really need fire throughout the rest of this stage, and he can get a Fire Flower again on Morton's airship. So not a real huge deal there. Recovers pretty nicely.
Yep, very nice. It is going to throw off his Morton pattern, as we said before. So we'll see if he decides to go for the fire kill. I don't believe he went for it last time with having to pick up the Fire Flower.
Yeah, he gave it an attempt and then bailed out and went to the 3 jumps. So I think he'll probably do something similar. See, hope he gets a lucky pattern, and if he doesn't, just move on and take the jumps.
Yeah, and Horsedad getting an unfortunate double movement there. That's going to throw off the pattern as well. So I'm not sure what kind of... We'll see how well Horsedad knows his Morton patterns coming in here. Like, I'm not sure what kind of fire kills we're going to get on both sides.
Yeah, I think the 2 movement pattern is a little trickier than the 1 movement, but it's at least something you can kind of know right away as long as your movement is smooth into the castle.
Yeah,
Horsedad
absolutely.
should still be aware of what kind of pattern Morton's going to give him here. Yeah, shoutouts to airships, man. They're just chilling. There's no RNG on airships. Everything kind of behaves exactly how you think it would if you do the same thing every time.
Yeah,
it's kind of like everybody complains about auto scrollers in this game, but honestly, from a speedrunning perspective, it's a really nice time to kind of take heed of kind of what happened in the world, kind of what you got coming up next, that kind of thing. It's a nice little breather. And we see Chuck
absolutely, yeah,
throwing a couple of fireballs and then just bailing out, going for the 3 jumps.
I really actually do enjoy the fact that there is an auto-scroller at the end of every world in this game, because there is no downtime otherwise, so...
Yeah, it looks like a 9:31 grab for Chuck, 9:39 for Horsedad. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I've played games where it's just like an hour of, go, 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 and you know, I much enjoy having a nice little 2-minute break in between every world.
Yeah, this was kind of the first speed game I really got into as well, and it was definitely different.
As both of our runners entering World 3 here, just a few seconds apart, really. And hopefully, as Horsedad saving the 1/4 of a second, getting the first frame jump. But as we saw in our last race, it's very imperative that both of our runners, or neither of our runners, I guess, takes a death here. As you'll see as Chuck leaves this stage, those bridges up there in the top right are going to go up and down every time you complete a level, kill a Hammer Brother, or die in a stage. And it's very important that we complete 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 3-4, and the Fortress, and fight both Hammer Bros. And that's going to set us up to cloud over 3-6. Excuse me. 3-6, and go straight to 3-8, which is going to allow us to skip 3 stages total by using 1 cloud. And we kind of saw that was the big difference in the last race, was Horsedad took an unfortunate death, and then just kind of, I guess, on autopilot as Chuck gets a nice little corner pixel jump there. But yeah, Horsedad just kind of, I can only assume, just went on autopilot after taking a death, and basically burned his cloud for nothing, and had to play through the auto-scroller, and I mean, that was basically the difference in the race. As Chuck is flirting with a runaway here.
Yeah, Horsedad's got some pretty good bro patterns there. He shouldn't have to worry about that, but Chuck does have that one in the corner. He's going to hope that that bro stays put. It'll be interesting to see kind of what stage he decides to go for here, if he moves over to 3-4 to take a little safety. As
Horsedad proving that doors are impossible, and Chuck is just going right for it. That's...
So he could potentially get 2 bad movements here from this bro, and it could run away. We've seen runners in the past go to 3-4 to clear it out and get to that bro. You see 1 bad movement. This is spoopy time right here. You see Horsedad managing these bros, making his way through them.
And I've been told, I don't know for sure, but I've been told that, you know, all Hammer Bro movements aren't, like, there's not an equal chance. Oh no.
And
there he goes. And it's really, unfortunately, there's a chance that he can come back and get back in Chuck's way. He's going to basically have to take another death. Okay, he does run away again, so that's fortunate.
Yeah, so this is going to change a few things. Chuck is small. Looks like he's going to go for this mushroom right here, so probably going to kind of re-grab his power-ups.
Sorry,
I wasn't scared. Boss fast, but he's alright.
So, if there is a rule 1 of Warpless, it's don't die in 3-8. Because much like an airship, if you die in 3-8, you die for real. Because if you died here, you would be, you'd go back to the last stage you cleared. So you'd get kicked out past 3-6, and you wouldn't have your cloud anymore. Chuck just keeping it interesting, I suppose. He is going to grab this backup Fire Flower, so no H from him. So Horsedad's going to take a slight lead as we exit 3-9. But I completely agree with Chuck's decision here. This is exactly what I would do. I hate Wendy without fire.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of unsure about the decision not to go to 3-4 first. I think maybe he just wanted to play the odds. I'm not sure, but other than that, you know, when things happen the way they did, I think he handled it very nicely in order to get back to that Fire Flower. So yeah, Horsedad is going to be the first one into the World 3 airship, but Chuck not far behind. One thing we do have to note is Chuck has 1 less star in his inventory than Horsedad does. I'm sure these runners are very comfortable with dealing with that. Of all the items to be missing, a star is probably the least important. But it is something to watch out for. It might slightly change Chuck's game plan as we move throughout the run here?
I believe Chuck had an extra star at the end of the last run, if I am correct, because he doesn't use a star in 7-8, and he didn't use one in the fort. So obviously he's comfortable enough with both of those stages. So yeah, I don't think that star is going to be a big deal.
Yeah,
as both runners get the fire bill there, as the bullet bill kind of takes on some of the properties of the visual properties of the excuse me, of the flamethrowers there. Just a little visual bug on the auto scroller, but I always love it. It's
see a nice fire kill there from Horsedad. Wendy, one of the more difficult Koopa kids to jump kill, but luckily she's got a nice flat plane for you to get a nice fire kill there. And Chuck cleaning up the fight as well. So about a 5-6 second lead for Horsedad at the end of World 3. So that slight little error, well, I don't want to call it an error in judgment, just decision that turned out poorly, I guess, for Chuck, costing him a little bit of time to Horsedad, but still a close race for sure.
Yep, and I mean, we made it through World 3, and like, we're 5 seconds apart. I think that means we are in for a good race, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
World 3 is definitely, of all of the worlds, I mean, this is Warpless. A lot can happen literally anywhere, but World 3 always seems to be the world where, like, Warpless races just go flying off the hinges, so. As Chuck, upgrading the strats from last run, both doing the earliest P-Speed strat there, and 4-1, doing it very well.
Chuck learning the faster 4-1 strat, apparently, in the 3 minutes we were in between races. Both of our runners moving into 4-2 now. And looks like Chuck is going to get that despawn. Horsedad didn't get the despawn, but did shoot a fireball out to take care of that piranha plant. So very solid 4-2 from both runners. That's another strat that is much more difficult than it looks. That's kind of the name of the game in World 4. Everything's a bit more difficult than it looks.
Absolutely. Like this, I know I've already said it, but man, I hate World 4. As a speedrunner of this game, World 4 is just, it's what nightmare, like, it's just nightmare fuel. At least World 3, you just, there's nothing you can do about it, it's just luck. Like, this, I can't even blame the game, it's just me being bad, and, like, I don't like that.
Well, I think that's your problem, you're just bad.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I just said that.
Okay. I mean, as long as you're willing to admit it, that's the first step.
That's fair.
Both the runners a very, very solid 4-3. Always a beautiful stage to watch. And looks like Horsedad's going to get his cloud right here. I don't see where the bros are for Chuck. Yeah, looks like kind of the same setup.
Same.
Yeah, there's a cloud here at the beginning of the stage. You normally fight him first, unless you get some weird shenanigans. But then at the end of this world is a star and a star and a P-wing. And our runners might slightly have varied strats, kind of depending on the pattern that they get from these bros. But both of our runners into 4-4 now. This is a stage where, yeah, unfortunately, we try to avoid swimming as much as we can in this category, but you just can't get around it here. Horsedad taking a little bit of safety there to not get sniped. Chuck also making sure he gets out with Fire Flower.
Chuck, a little bit of a slip up there towards the end. You did notice Horsedad, nice little super swim. As he gets a pretty decent bro pattern as well. This is a potential boxless setup on Horsedad's side.
Yeah, so you see Chuck using his music box there to put those bros to sleep. He's gonna just skip over these guys, press his luck here in World 5. Horsedad has a chance to actually get through World 4 without having to fight these bros at all, which would save that music box. I saw the triple flower, yeah.
I was hopeful.
So, unfortunately, Horsedad doesn't quite get the bro pattern he wanted there, does have to use the music box, but had a chance there. Sometimes that's all you can ask for. Both our runners getting P-Speed, Horsedad kind of losing it. Chuck able to keep it a little better, but it looks like Horsedad is going to be the first one to move into the World 4 airship here.
Yeah, very, very clean from both runners. Man, I mean, I'm not gonna complain about having a close race, but it was a lot better when at least we had, you know, one runner on the World 4 airship.
Yeah, no,
one runner was not.
We were totally just completely ignored the fact that this is a really great stage that moves twice as slow as any other auto-scroller in the game.
Blistering 15 pixels a second.
Look at it go. It's so fast. I'm having a great time.
So yeah, this is a great stage if you wanna go make a sandwich.
Yeah, refresh your drink. You know, use the restroom real quick. You got time.
Buy a washer dryer combo.
Yeah.
Maybe take a selfie or two.
We do see one thing we can talk about our runners adjusting their coin counts here on this airship. In order to avoid coin ships, it's something we talked about in the first race, but we can bring it up again because we got time. So in worlds 1, 3, 5, and 6, the worlds that have normal Hammer Brothers, if your coin count after you finish a stage ends in a multiple of 11, and the tens digit of your score is that same number, it'll turn one of those regular Hammer Bros into a coin ship. Which, if you're a casual player, is actually really fun. It's this big auto-scroller where you get a whole bunch of coins and a couple lives, and it's a great time. But if you're a speedrunner, you obviously don't want to see more auto-scrollers. So our runners throughout the run will take precautions, grabbing certain coins in spots, adjusting their score here and there, in order to avoid those coin ships throughout the run.
Yeah, very very nice coin count from Horsedad, as you mentioned. Why?
Do we have any fake donations to read right now?
Yeah, what's the like GDQ donation?
Greetings from Germany.
Yeah, like the GDQ generator website.
You should just fire one of those. We'll fire one of those off in game 3. As you see, both our runners going for a jump kill here. Actually, Chuck gets a fire kill on Iggy, a very different fire kill. But hey, I saw a 142 on Horsedad's timer, 143 on Chuck's, so Chuck's saving a little time in that World 4 auto-scroller.
Yep. I'm curious if he went in with that as a plan, or if he was just like, if that was one of the old Mr. Cab fire kills. I shot fireballs until he died.
Hey, that works, you know? But Horsedad maintaining that slight edge as we move into World 4 or World 5, excuse me. Wow, it's just moving right along. I don't even know what world we're in anymore.
I mean, look, I know that auto scroller was so enticing that you probably want to see it again. But we are in World 5 now. As both runners making it through 5-1, pretty simple. I believe there is a P-speed strat, but I don't think it's faster. It might be slower.
I believe it's like really, really tough to actually execute, and if you have to do it absolutely perfectly to save any time with it. So yeah, just a nice easy climb, nothing too crazy.
Another thing we kind of glossed over in game 1, both runners avoiding the pit of misery, dilly dilly. The top route is much faster, and it's much easier. Cujo actually routed out bottom route. You talk about 7-8 being a Mario Maker level. The bottom route of 5-2 is like every terrible Mario Maker level in existence. It really is non-stop, just stream of the worst enemies in the game. It's actually faster once you get down there, which it takes you a while because you fall literally forever because the game really wants you to think about the life choices that you've made to get to this point. It's still faster to just die and restart the level. As Horsedad looks like he's fighting the star, Chuck a little bit luckier there, is gonna fight the P-Wing. And now this P-Wing's going to end up getting in the way, so Horsedad would have had to fight him either way. So Chuck's actually going to be able to take a slight lead here, due to luck. As both of them move into one of the more technical stages in the game, the tower here. see if either runner goes for the Sunday sequence break. I don't think we'll see it.
No, none of our runners have that kind of swag.
I know, right? As Chuck maintaining his speed all the way through once again. Very nice tower.
Yeah, even keeps it in the last room. The hard thing about this is that every single pipe has a different strat to kind of keep your P-speed. You'd think you kind of do the same thing from every single pipe, but every single one of them is different. So you have to just kind of know exactly what you have to do coming off of every pipe in order to keep your P-speed. But Chuck, the first one up into 5-4, we now get to deal with a whole bunch of stages that are all above open pits. None of these stages are particularly difficult, but they're all very unforgiving. Any mistake you can see here would pretty easily come as a death. We see Horsedad going for the quarter of a second save in 5-4.
Yeah, that's
ballsy right there.
Because I think that is
you have to land on the right side of that Koopa.
Yeah, you have to.
You can tell if you're gonna make it or not, but
far right on that Koopa as you can. Sorry.
Yeah, it's very difficult. We see Horsedad actually getting the 5-5 P speed. He's gonna cut into that lead just a little bit. I mean, that's the kind of things that we can see here. Just tiny little mistakes, tiny little time gains here and there can really make a difference when you have two runners of this caliber. We do see Chuck able to fight that music box right away. It could be another source of time difference here, as Horsedad may have to wait a stage or two in order to fight this bro, depending on what kind of movements he gives him. So
yeah, and given where this bro is, 95% of the time he's gonna go the exact worst spot here. Let's hope he either just goes straight down or all the way left. And of course,
and there's the worst pattern you could get. So now Horsedad's got to go through these next two stages and wait for that bro to move every time.
Yeah, that is not fun. Having to deal with him there. Ooh, as he takes an unfortunate hit on that boo there at the end of the fortress.
So we're gonna have a little bit of a slower boom boom kill there. Technically, he gets out of the fort first, but because Chuck has already cleared that hammer bro, Chuck still does have the lead here. Well, Chuck gets a movement of 2, as well as Horsedad, so there's no real time loss yet. I guess that movement of 4 did lose Horsedad a little bit of time, but Horsedad might be okay here in terms of movements, not losing any extra time to Chuck.
Yeah, because I haven't been paying attention, but there's a good chance he's gonna you're almost gonna have to get a movement of 2 here from Chuck again if the bro went. Yep, yeah, the bro went back past 5-3, so yeah, he's basically guaranteed to get a 2 movement there. Chuck is the first into the World 5 airship. Horsedad right on his heels. Doesn't have a fire flower, but that's okay. He will be able to get one back at the very start of this auto scroller. I believe the second shortest of the auto scrollers. I believe the World 1 airship is just slightly faster.
Yeah, it's either this or World 3 is the second. I always forget which one's the second shortest. But yeah, this one pretty short, pretty straightforward. There's just a little bit of a mini gauntlet you have to run through, but you can actually just jump over top of it. So pretty straightforward stage. Nice brown block there from Horsedad. You gotta have fun on the auto scrollers. You gotta do what you can.
Absolutely. I think that's another reason that I don't mind the Mario 3 auto scrollers as much, is there's always something to do. Like, you look at other games that, there's not a whole lot to do on some of their auto scrollers, but just the way this game works, there's always some sort of stupid swag that you can do. And if anybody knows me, they know I'm all about the stupid swag.
Chuck taking care of Roy, doesn't take any hits that time, luckily enough, and looks like he's got a 29.04 grab. Horsedad moving into the Roy fight, going for the fire kill. Luckily, Roy gives him a pretty nice pattern there.
Yeah, that would
like a 29-13, so about a 9-second lead for Chuck.
Yeah, Horsedad, pretty accomplished 100% runner, and that should be one of the default hundo patterns there, coming from no bros left on the map coming from that last square. So pretty sure both of those patterns are always friendly to you.
Yeah, Roy very often gives you patterns that you can work around. You just got to be careful for the shot, and then everything works out.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
Yeah.
It is still quite scary though, because as I said before, Roy does kind of slam the ground when he lands. So, if you go for it and mess it up, a lot of times you're gonna die. But you know, as both of our runners moving into World 6 here, both of them are gonna fight this bro, and this bro feels really bad that we just burned our last hammer. So they're like, "Hey, dog, here's another hammer. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you waste it like that." And both of them moving into the first of 3 fortresses here in World 3.
Chuck, very smart there to wait. He didn't quite hit the block when he wanted to, so he couldn't really rely on the pattern of those waffles there, but hi, Boom Boom.
Bye, Boom Boom.
So both our runners using that star to kind of one-hit KO Boom Boom and get an invisible orb out of it, because that's the way the game works. You know, that's just... There's a whole lot of things I could tell you about it, but just accept that it happens. I promise these guys aren't cheating. You see Chuck getting the 6-4 P speed. Very nice. That's a very difficult strat to get.
I believe that's sub-pixel dependent. Yeah, I think it's sub-pixel dependent. Because I always seem to get it, like, anytime I don't want it, so...
Ooh, but Chuck getting a spot of bad luck there. The bro walks right into him, and I believe this is the star. Oh, it is the cloud.
No.
Okay. I misread which way they walked and wasn't looking which way they were facing. So he's going to try and hopefully avoid this star, which is the other one here. Horsedad, the first one into 6-5, which is a kind of a puzzle stage. The game wants you to get a leaf and fly up to a certain pipe. But since our runners know exactly what pipe to go to, they're just going to use P-Wing and actually despawn one of these nippers at the top in order to get through much quicker.
Yeah, very clean stage from both of our runners. Chuck is going to hope for some good luck here. I didn't see the bros on Horstad's screen. Very nice luck from Horstad, and pretty good luck from Chuck there as well.
Yeah, able to actually scroll past that hammer bro during the screen transition. You can actually buffer your next movement before the game decides that you need to be in a fight. So nice job there from Chuck. So both of our runners avoiding that extra star in World 6. Moving through 6F2, very nice, very technical stage with the tail, which is something you don't see too often in this game. But both runners handling it quite nicely.
Yeah, that stage pushes the P meter mechanic, and the flight meter mechanic rather, to its absolute limit. You saw that second gap that they're able to clear. There is just enough of their P meter and their flight meter to make that gap. So if they mess up that stage at all, they either have to bail out or they will probably just end up falling to their death. You saw Chuck take an unfortunate hit there at the very start of that stage, but it's not gonna matter too much, as he is gonna P-wing this next stage most likely. I don't believe he skipped a P-wing, bro.
Yeah, he should be fine on his route here. So yeah, just gonna use the P-wing here in 6-9. So
say either that or Chuck took the damage intentionally and he's a madman because he wanted a wall jump. But you know,
that'd be the ultimate swag. Just to like, listen, I know I'm only ahead by like 10 seconds, but I'm gonna go for this wall jump. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like, I know I'm only ahead by 10 seconds. I know I've got this extra P-Wing, but I don't need it.
So, losing that tail immediately so that they can maintain their P-meter throughout this entire fortress. Very clean from both runners here.
Alright, see if Horsedad gets the right sub-pixel
he got the pixel last time. Let's see if he goes for this again. I kind of want to see it.
Nope.
Doesn't go for it that
like
time.
Jumps all
the way over. Yeah. But pretty clean, pretty straightforward World 6s from both runners. I don't think there was really anything that would separate one or the other. I think they're going to end up with pretty similar, at least split times here in World 6. So Chuck going to maintain that slight edge as he moves into the World 6 airship.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I would be happy with either one of their World 6s, so that seems pretty good. As yeah, they enter in. This king, unfortunately, been transformed into a seal.
Dude, he's trying his best. So look at that. He's bobbling that crown.
Yeah, no,
really
I mean,
well. He's worked
like,
on it.
How long has he been transformed? Because like
they've only been in World 6 for like 7 minutes, and he's already got that down.
That is impressive, man. Like, is that just a thing that seals are just like born with just an innate talent of balancing things on their nose like that?
It might. I don't know. I kind of want to know. What's the okay, Google. How do seals balance things? Did I do it right?
Send tweet. Wait.
It doesn't look like either runner gets the top route, unfortunately. You can actually clip up to the top of the auto-scroller, let the game play itself for about 15 seconds. But coming up here on our boy Lemmy, see if he gives either of our runners some shakes to bless their runs.
None for Chuck. See about Horsedad. He did get some shakes last run. Maybe I'm not sure if the blessings will hold
multiple runs.
Yeah, I'm not sure how #blessed is it like. Will it work for an entire set, or I don't know how it works, man. So yeah, how many 7-1? How many attempts at 7-1 are we?
Chuck's got about a 12-second lead. So I'm gonna say like 5 tries for Chuck, macaroni and cheese for Horsedad. We're gonna get this race nice and close again.
I mean, I'd agree with you.
Shout outs to me triggering multiple people's phones with that meme.
But Karua is not here, so clearly no mac and cheese. But I'm gonna say second try for Horsedad.
Okay. Chuck having a few problems here. Gets it 5th try.
Yeah, 5th try, not bad.
If Horsedad would have got mac and cheese,
pixeled.
I would have been a prophet. Horsedad gets it 4th try, so does make up a little bit of time there.
And I believe Horsedad got pixeled on the 2nd try.
Yeah, it looked like he actually got his head
I was
stuck.
correct. The game just didn't want me to be.
Unreal, dude. So our runner's moving into 7-2. This is a very difficult stage. You gotta really make sure you manage your P meter just right so you can clear this long gap without having to fall down into it and hit a bunch of music note blocks in order to get through. Looks like Horsedad's about to make his leap over as Chuck makes his way out of the stage. We've got another triple flower alert, by the way, over on Horsedad now.
Both runners despawned the cheeky plant as well.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, a mushroom to
end
it
the
all.
Shroom, dang. So yeah, our runners have been taking precautions throughout the run to avoid getting 3 of the same kind of card. Normally when you run at a card at P speed, you'll get a star. So a lot of times you'll see the runners doing a little turn back on either the 2nd or the 3rd star of a set in order to get something different. But sometimes you kind of don't have a choice and you're kind of left with what the game gives you. As we see Chuck managing 7-3 really well. Horsedad actually having trouble getting the P speed, and now he's kind of just scrambling here. Just kind of making his way through the stage. Looks like he should be able to get speed here. And hopefully he can clear out the stage.
Makes it through, because no one has ever died on 7-3.
Imagine dying on 7-3. That's like, come on, who would do that? So clouding over 7-4, which is a really terrible water auto-scroller. Moving into 7F1, another puzzle stage where if you know where the pipe is, it's very easy to just use a P-wing and fly straight into it. And if you miss that P-wing noise, don't worry, it's coming right back in 7-6. 7-6, another stage like 6-9 that you can actually just fly over top of and not even have to worry about. So kind of the breather section here of World 7. You get the 7-1 clip and 7-2, and then you kind of have a few easy stages, and then you kind of get thrown right back into it with 7-8 and the rest of the world. I'm actually really interested to see what routes our runners decide to go for here. They have one more cloud in their inventory, and you can either use it to cloud over 7-9, 7F2, or 8F. And each route kind of has its own pros and cons. So I'm really curious to see, especially knowing, I know the runners both watch the restream or at least kind of keep tabs on each other. So they got to know this is a close race. So this decision could really decide this race. As we see Chuck with another kind of interesting ending to Worlds 7-8 there, but does get through it. So he'll be the first to decide here.
Official petition to steal a name from the SMW crew and name that Nipper never shoots.
He always shoots, though.
That's the joke.
Oh, okay. We see Chuck deciding to cloud over 7-9, goes into 7F2, so this is a little bit faster than 7-9, but the risk here is if he dies, he's going to have to replay 7-9 and 7F2. I mean, he has a little trouble there, but does recover. Luckily, he picked about the only pipe in that room where if you run off of it, you don't fall into lava and die. We see Horsedad going into 7-9 again, so both runners making the same choice they did in Game 1. So Chuck's going to pick up a little bit of time here. You can see 7F2 going a little bit quicker than 7-9, but Horsedad with the slightly safer route by going through 7-9.
I am still a little surprised to not see Horsedad go for the clips at the bottom of 7-9.
I think he's just not really, he's never really been a fan of them. So, and you know, it's one of those things like, yeah, it could save time, but if you struggle with those clips, like, every missed clip is just a few seconds, you just lose. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Whereas, you know, if you go through the maze, you at least kind of have a more consistent, you kind of know what kind of time you're going to get. So, I mean, it's...
Yeah, that's fair.
It's interesting.
It's still, like, I don't know. It is an interesting decision for sure, and I don't mean to, like, armchair quarterback this. I just... You know, especially if he knows where the race is at. I guess at this point he's just kind of like betting on hands. At this point,
yeah. I mean, this race, the way it's going right now, this race is pretty much going to come down to the hands. You know, unless we see some big mistake, which definitely could happen. World 8 is very crazy. Lots of crazy things can happen in it. But right now, it's looking like this race might be decided by those hands.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do win, like, whoever wins this, we did get one of the things we wanted, which this has been an amazing race so far.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Both of these runners are just performing at an exceptionally high level.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a lead bigger than 10 to 15 seconds this entire second race. Like, it's been, these guys are just going blow for blow right now.
I think this is gonna be the biggest lead of the race so far, and I want to say it. My guess is it's probably about 15, maybe 20 seconds. Like, I feel like they're about a hand apart right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, as our runners make it through this auto-scroller, the longest auto-scroller in the game, even though it moves at normal speed, it's still slightly longer than the World 4 airship, just because of how incredibly long this stage actually is, just in length itself.
Yeah, and Ludwig, another Koopa kid that can slam the ground, so you want to be really careful, make sure you're jumping very deliberately there. But Chuck, the first one out, looks like a 42-29-1 grab for him, so we'll kind of see what kind of lead he has once Horsedad finishes this fight.
Uh, 42.50 it looked like. What did...
Yeah, so about a 21-second lead. So basically a one-hand lead from Chuck as they move into World 8. And don't worry if you are missing those 2 minutes of fresh auto-scroller action. We've got 2 more auto-scrollers heading your way.
Man, thank goodness.
Look at him go.
We've got some reports in chat that if Chuck gets one hand, he could potentially PB here. So
yeah, I mean, both of these runners are really, I don't think, you know, he had to take the death in World 3 because of the bad luck, but he worked around that hammer bro and really kind of has just been playing really well since then. So he's on a great pace, and Horsedad is just right behind him.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to actually reiterate what you just pointed out, that like Chuck had a runaway, and he could potentially 51 here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's incredible execution.
And it looks like our boys over at Speed Gaming has started up a fun little game for us to play.
Oh boy, I like games.
Do you? Well, let me tell you about this one. So coming up, as we've been kind of mentioning it here, are 3 stages. All of them have a 50-50 shot of pulling our runners into them, and it's really awful when you get pulled into a hand because you lose about 20 seconds. And since we like betting on the misfortune of others, we're actually doing a little game here. You can bet on the total number of hands between our 2 runners. So anywhere from 0 to 6 I do want to mention that in the very, very unlikely case that one of our runners does die on a hand and gets grabbed again, that would count twice. So we could potentially see 7 or 8, but with these two runners, 0 to 6, probably your safe bet. So get your guesses in the chat now. And what do you think, Lassa? What are we looking at here?
I'm thinking 1.
One total?
I think 1 hand for Chuck, none for Horsedad. I think Horstad's going to get...
I don't know. Horstad got no hands already. You think he's going to get the 1 in 64?
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the 1 in 64.
I think 2 each. I'm going to say 4. See there, I typed it in chat. I typed 4. That's how many I think it's going to be.
But, man, that means I got to, like, click on the thing, and then I got to, like, find the number 1 key, and, like... I gotta find the enter key. Like, that just sounds like an entire... That sounds like an entire thing,
I guess you don't want to win. That's fine. That's a very big number that somebody's guessing.
I feel like both of our runners were game over multiple times before that.
I mean, the hands do come back if you game over. So, you know, I mean, you never know. The hands are some optional stages that each runner, you'll pass over them and you have a 50-50 chance of being forced to play the stage or not.
Yep. And each one, as Glib said, is about 20 seconds. That is some very deep boat swag.
That is some very nice boat swag.
That was
that from Chuck.
And I mean, as they go through the Navy here, I just do want to point out that you know, if you'll notice what they're kind of riding on, don't worry, Nintendo Power was wrong. It's not the blood of Koopas. It is completely chocolate milk. It's fine. And no hands for Chuck.
Oh baby. Good time for no hands there for Chuck.
And here we go for Horstad. Moment of truth.
And no hands
the 1 in 64!
The hands!
Who called that one?
Oh my goodness.
Who called that one?
Alright, we're not through this yet. Both of our runners have to get through this auto-scroller. And this is a fast auto-scroller. They're gonna have to make sure they don't die.
Literally...
Nobody's
Literally
ever died
no one has ever died on this auto-scroller.
Nobody's died.
Right?
Nobody's ever taken this jump that Chuck's about to and shorted it and died on the biggest stage in SMB3 history.
Especially not a world record holder.
No, definitely a world record holder would not do something like that. That's crazy. Wow, I mean, like, of all the times for it to be, I'm kind of glad. You know, we said the hands might decide it, and the hands have decided that they're just going to stay out of the way for this one.
Yeah, no, this is definitely the game has definitely stepped back and said, you know what, you guys are doing some great work here. We don't want to mess this up for you. Which is weird because Mario 3 never does that.
Ooh, we had a 1. Nobody had the ultimate faith, but congratulations on the 1.
Chuck, very nice 8-1. He had a little slip up there, but was able to get his P-speed back very quickly. As Horstad, both runners, actually, I do want to point this out, both runners are going for the early P-speed strat there in 8-1, which is incredibly difficult. The timing on that fireball is incredibly precise to kill that Koopa, to not get hit by him.
Ooh, okay. I was watching that A2 from Chuck, and that sun got very, very close to messing him up.
Yeah, no, that was...
There would have been a Fire Flower pretty early on in 8F, but, like, we're at that kind of point where that sort of time loss can really make a big difference. You see Horsedad with another beautiful A2. A2, like, these guys have been making A2 look so easy. That climb is incredibly precise to keep your P-speed. It's very, very difficult, and these guys are making it look like it's nothing.
Yeah, no, that climb is actually impossible. Just, like, go back and watch any of my VODs of Mario 3. Like,
well, I mean, if you watch any of your VODs of Mario 3, like...
I mean, okay, go watch Glib's VODs, too. Like, either way.
I got A2 once, man. It happened. Alright, looks like Chuck does get through 8F with just that 1 P-switch. Hangs on to his fire. This is the last spot in the game where you can get a Fire Flower, so you definitely want to hang on to it. And he's going to be the first one out of 8F, moving on to the Super Tanks, which the last auto-scroller of the game. Horsedad also managing to get a 1P switch 8F.
He
Very
hit
nice
the
from
wall
both runners
jump
there.
pixel there right
Yeah.
at the door. I thought that was gonna cost him the 1 cycle. I've had that happen before, and it's like it is the worst feeling.
Yeah, again, that's another strat they made look really easy. That is a very, very tight, like, your movement has to be really, really good through there, and, like, getting hung up on the wall jump pixel there can definitely be that just that little bit of time you lost in order to lose that. And if you miss that 1 cycle, it's about a 10 to 15 second time loss, so very, very crucial there to get that. But one more auto-scroller, and then one Bowser's Castle. Chuck hanging on to the lead. He's got the 1-0 lead in the series. If he's able to close this out, he will be your grand finals champion. But Horsedad nipping right at his heels, ready at any point to take over from any mistake Chuck might make and take this to game 3. So we've got a heck of a race.
Absolutely. As we saw in the last race, like Horsedad lost fire on Bowser. Like obviously it didn't matter in the last race. They weren't this close, but you know that can happen. Like things like this can happen. Bowser's Castle is not trivial. There's so much that can go wrong still in this last stage. So here we go. Chuck is entering the last stage of the game.
Yeah, he's on a high 51 pace, so this is a crazy good time.
Yeah, no, this is insane. Like a high 51 with a runaway. Like, I cannot, like, I can't put into words how crazy that execution is. Like, Chuck lost probably 20 seconds? Maybe 30?
Yeah.
In World 3 alone?
Playing it safe there in the statue room has a little bit of hiccup, but he's now 35 fireballs away from becoming the grand champion. And he's done it.
There it is.
WhenChukAttacks will be your SMB3 Warpless Tournament Grand Champion. And Horsedad is right on his tails in the Bowser fight.
Incredible race. Chuck finishing with an official SRL time of 51:54, a race PB by 8 seconds. That might be a real PB, I'm not sure. I don't remember
that is 1 second off of his posted PB.
1 second off, man.
Yeah.
What an incredible race as Horsedad finishes with an official SRL time of 52:11. What an incredible race for the final match of this tournament. Congratulations to WhenChukAttacks. I'm speechless. That run, that was incredible.
Yeah, like a 52:11 loses a race. Like that's so insane.
Yeah.
I don't want to take anything away from Horsedad. He left it all out on the table in this run, but Chuck just put together the run of his life to take this championship. We're going to try and get both of our runners in here for an interview. As soon as they are catching their breath from all this, they'll be in here, and we'll have a chat with them. Do you by chance have the predictions up? Can we see who the prediction winner is?
I can pull it up real quick.
Yeah, I want to see. I'm pretty sure I was like not even close because I think I made a lot of wrong calls early. But,
I mean, I murdered my own bracket, so
yeah, way to go, Lasso. Throwing your own bracket off.
Okay, that can't possibly be right. You and I are 1 and 2.
Wait, what?
Oglib rank 1.
I won?
188.
What? I think I had Chuck winning it. Did I just win it all because Chuck won it all?
So it hasn't been updated.
Oh.
It like let me check the bracket, see if it's been updated.
Because I thought I was sunk from the beginning. Dude, so rigged. We're getting our guys through setup here, making sure their mics are good. I think Chuck is ready to enter.
All right, yeah, I updated the final thing. And...
Hello and welcome to both of our runners. Congratulations, that was just an absolute treat to watch.
Hey.
Hi.
Well, first of all, congrats, Chuck. You earned that. You're the race master, and I'm not surprised you won this tournament. So, congratulations, man. You really earned that one.
Oh, I appreciate it. I got to be honest, coming into tonight's races, I was not feeling very confident after the times you put up in last round. I didn't feel like I had much of a prayer, and I mean, what happened tonight was incredible.
Yeah,
that first race was really unfortunate.
Yeah, I think World 3 was kind of a big factor tonight. We will real quickly go back to Game 1. We were kind of talking about it. We weren't sure in the booth exactly what had happened. Horsedad, you kind of want to walk us through your mindset there in World 3? Had you kind of forgotten you had died in 3-3, or what kind of happened to you there?
I can explain that. So basically, I don't know. I just ended up in the water in 3-3. I couldn't even really tell you necessarily what went wrong, but all of a sudden, Boss Bass is eating me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're in kind of like a high pressure situation like that, something like that happens. I just wasn't. The more I think about it, I'm remembering I was really worried about having to fight water. So that was like first and foremost on my mind. And then I thought he was going to run away. He didn't do that. Honestly, I completely forgot that the bridge would be up. Used my cloud.
Yeah.
I sat there for like 5 seconds, dumbfounded, like not. Yeah, and then I realized what happened. And it was just, unfortunate that it went down like that. And I just wasn't, I just didn't notice it, I guess, because I was thinking about other stuff.
Yeah, and we talked about that too. Like, it definitely, like, that's a situation where if that happens in an actual attempt or anything, like, you just reset. You don't even have to think about it. So it's not really a situation you're going to run into in an actual attempt. And yeah, we kind of figured that maybe it was just you kind of just, oh wait, that's right, this doesn't work, and then it was kind of too late when it had already happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Glib and I actually both said. Like, we were today years old when we learned that, you know, trying to bonking into the upward, like the bridge while it's up, just ate your cloud. Like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, so there you go, everybody learned something today.
There we go.
But honestly, like, other than, I mean, obviously that's a big mistake, but other than that, like, that first race, you guys pretty much, like, that, Chuck got about a 2-minute lead from there, and really that was about what it ended up being. You guys pretty much went blow for blow from there. So to go back to World 3, and this time I gotta call out Chuck a little bit. So you kind of had a situation where, we've seen this from a lot of runners, where the bro was threatening to run away, and a lot of people have decided to go to 3-4 in case the bro would run away. You decided to fight the bro, then go to 3-4, and you got 2 unfortunate movements, and he ran away. Was that a conscious decision, just to be like, okay, I'm just gonna press my luck here, or was it just in autopilot mode? Again, I think that's another situation where in an RTA run you just don't even think about it.
Yeah, that was definitely me just daring the bro to run away.
He's tempting the game, man. Come on.
He's like, okay, you want me to do it. Yeah, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna take my chance.
Right. I mean, and it's a time loss the other way too. You know, you have a lot of extra map movements to deal with, so it's kind of a darn if you do, darn if you don't situation. So.
Yeah, see, now I'm just sitting there picturing Chuck just staring at the bro going, you won't do it. Dude, you're not going to do it.
Come on, bro.
What do you got, bro?
Totally respect you, bro.
But from there, just absolutely immaculate run. We mentioned that you were 1 second off your actual PB, which having to deal with a runaway and being 1 second off your PB is just absolutely insane. So yeah, really great run. And
according to the final split, it was actually half a second.
Oh wow.
Oof.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
really wanted to end on a PB. That would have just been the best reason to never play ever again.
Yeah, I mean,
But, Horsedad, you were right behind him. I think you had maybe 2 extra bros you had to fight, and that was kind of the difference almost. I mean, I guess the World 3 kind of evened out, but you had 1 extra bro in World 5. So
ended up being a big difference maker in hindsight was 1-2. I had a terrible 1-2.
yeah, that did.
Oh,
cost
yeah,
you a
you
few
did.
Seconds. Yeah. I mean, and that was the kind of thing. Like we mentioned it. Like there's little spots where one of you guys would perform a stage optimally, and one of them had maybe a little bit of a hiccup. But I mean, that's when we've got 2 runners of your caliber. That's kind of what does make the difference in a run like this. So
Yeah.
but that's one of the otherwise a 52:11, like that's an insane time. That's a really great time.
Shocked we're not in game 3 right now. Like when I killed Bowser and I looked over and saw that Chuck was done, I was in shock. I mean, that he can put up a time like that, but in a race,
Right. Yeah.
oh, yeah.
So how
absolutely.
much attention were you paying? How much? I guess that's questions for both of you. How close were you guys kind of paying attention to maybe where the other person was? Was that something on your mind or not really?
Oh yeah, I was paying very close attention.
Okay. Horstead, how about you?
first race I was, and then the second race I paid 0 attention, so I had no idea where he was the entire time.
Oh wow. Okay. Do you think you would have changed your strats at all had you known, or you just wanted to kind of do your thing?
Yep, it would have been exactly the same no matter what. So
Okay.
the only thing that I could possibly ever change, I do the end of World 7. I mean, if I knew like I needed to make up some time, I would cloud 7-9 and play 7-4-2. But
Right.
I'm imagining at that point we were so close, like I would have done the same thing anyways because the hands could make the difference. You know, there's so many things still to go.
Yeah, it was like a 9 or 10 second lead for Chuck going into there, and we kind of said that like it's just pretty much up to hands. But both of you guys ended up with no hands. Yeah, go ahead.
So Horsedad, 3 of our 4 races you had no hands.
I
So
was just going to say that.
What like rare animal did you sacrifice to make this happen? Like a
Before
unicorn?
our race, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you saw in the Discord, but my NES started going out on me. So maybe, I don't know.
It's
I
possessed
took a
by-
girlfriend NES, and maybe that was the magic tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, between the 2 races, we saw a total of 2 hands, both from Chuck in the first race. When Chuck got no hands first time through, I was like, well, that's it, that's the race. And then Horsedad just like, yeah, whatever, I can get no hands again. That's what I don't care. And so like it was just right back into it.
I just want to point out, I always believed in the no hand dream for
That's true.
Horsedad. Glib was like, nah, man, it's
call
like
it.
a 1 in 64. There's no way. There's
I
no
didn't
way the
believe-
math
I didn't
doesn't say
believe
it
in the 1 in
works.
64. No
Every
math.
time.
Horsedad beats the odds every time.
I was also in shock, as I'm sure many others were. I was just like, how? This doesn't happen.
Yeah. I think we had 2 or 3 people popping clips into the chat with both of you guys passing over the hands within about 20 seconds of each other. So, yeah, I mean, just awesome match. Both matches from you guys were a really treat to watch. Tonight was no exception. So, thank you guys so much for putting on a heck of a show for us.
Thank you guys. And
Go ahead, Chuck.
go ahead. Uh-oh.
Just do some thanks all around to all the people who commentated, Lasso, and I know some other people. I think Glib and even maybe you, Chuck, helped out a little bit with
I kept score.
what's that?
I kept score.
Nice. So yeah, just big thanks to everybody, and big congrats to you. You were my pick to win it beforehand, and I guess I was right.
Oh, thanks, man. You didn't like have money on this, and you
I don't know.
you threw it.
Dang! That would be-
tampering.
I don't know what the Vegas line was on this match. I'd have to go look.
Collusion.
That explains why I beat Horsedad in the winner's bracket.
I do have one more question. Actually, 2 more questions. One's for you 2. Now that the tournament is over, you guys finally don't have to play Warpless. What's next on the docket for you guys? What's next in your speedrunning / gaming careers?
So So I am going to drop this game for a long time. I plan to come back to it eventually and try and push my 100% time further, but that won't be for a while. I need a big break from this. So no SMB3 for a while. I am this race in the Best of NES marathon coming up, so I'll probably be playing a little SMB1. Kind of want to learn like all stages of lost levels, or like Warpless D4, I guess. So hopefully I end up actually following through on that.
Chuck, what are your plans now?
I too plan on dropping this game from a building. That being said, I'm sure I'll come back to it. I always do.
Yeah, I remember when you were going to quit SMB3 like 5 years ago.
Yeah, after the marathon or the not marathon. Yeah, SGDQ. I was like, well,
that's it.
Done.
And here you are,
done forever.
How many times collectively have we four just quit quit Mario 3?
I'm quitting. I've definitely quit. There's no way I'm ever playing this game again. I promise. You'll never see it ever until maybe like tomorrow or so.
Yeah, until like that marathon that we submitted for.
Yeah.
As far as learning something new, I've actually been kind of thinking about Zelda 2 lately. Just a thought. It's something I thought about before, and I kind of want to.
Zelda 2 is a comfy speed watch. I would be all about that.
I kind of want to learn it.
Nice. Well, yeah. Be sure, like, if you guys aren't, like, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but make sure you follow both of these runners.
Yeah.
Great runners of anything they pick up. So make sure you check out their channels. They're a great time.
Yeah, Chuck. I mean, I don't think Chuck needs any introduction. I don't think I've ever seen him be bad at a video game, and Horsedad is like the best kept secret in Mario 3 running.
SM64. That's what you got to challenge Chuck in.
Yeah,
that's what you can beat him in.
That or Rocket League.
Ooh, Chuck's going to Rocket League retirement. He's talking about other games he's gonna learn. No, it's Rocket League retirement.
I mean, I played it today for a few hours, so what can I say?
That's the secret. All right. Well, I think that's gonna. I don't know, Lassa. Do you have any other questions for our boys?
No, I don't have any more questions. I do actually. Unless you had something else, I do actually want to hop in and just say to kind of echo what Horsedad said. As kind of the guy that threw this together, I just want to say a big shout out to everybody that joined. Like, thank you everybody that joined. I was not expecting nearly this amount of interest in the tournament. So like all of the old runners that came back, all of the new people that joined to make this tournament awesome. Like, I appreciate it. Shout outs to the speed gaming guys. They did all of the work and just basically let us sit here in a Discord call and be idiots while people played Mario 3. And then all of the commentators, like everybody that helped. Glib, who had the dubious job of herding the cats of the commentary crew, and Chuck for helping with the scorekeeping, and to you two just being there when I was setting up, going I don't know what I'm doing, help, and you guys were so helpful just to be able to bounce ideas off of. So I just really want to thank everybody that had a hand in this. You guys are all awesome. I will not run the next one though. I love you all, but
I know that feel. But again,
it was a pleasure to help out.
Yeah, definitely. It was no hassle. And I do want to thank everybody else. We had tons of commentators along for the ride, a bunch of people behind the scenes, including all of the great people with speed gaming. You guys really made this tournament what it was. It's a really great tournament to be a part of. But when's Hundo tournament?
Whenever you organize it.
No, come on.
Just let me know. I'll unretire.
Horsedad's gonna run it, right?
Yeah, I would absolutely be in for that.
All right, Horsedad's gonna start the Hunter tournament. You heard it here.
No.
Coming at you.
Yeah, somebody clip that.
With promise, not running of it.
All right. I think that is going to do it for us. I think we're done here. Pack it up.
Yep.
Thanks everybody for a great tournament.
Yeah, thank you everybody once again. Be sure to follow Glib, Horsedad, and Chuck. You guys are all awesome, wonderful runners. Don't follow me. I play anime games. Nobody wants that in their
Chuck,
life.
Yeah, don't play. We lost Lasso to anime, so you don't have to worry about him. I'm just kidding. Follow Lasso. He's great. But yeah, that's it. Let's leave. Rolling out.
Rolling
Bye, guys.
out.
Congrats again, Chuck.
Thanks a lot, man. Great racing.
Same.